I'm going to go in with the concealer. Recently, concealer has definitely become, I feel like, the most important part of my step. And so I use two. This one is the Huda Beauty, the Overachiever Concealer, and I have been obsessed with Huda Beauty, this concealer, just because their coverage is so much. And this is in the shade Graham Cracker. And I think that this shade is just the teeniest bit orangey, a little bit too orange for me. And so when I would use it, like, again, I didn't really like it so much, but I already bought it. And then I started using it in combination with like a lighter toned concealer. And I realized it made a great like color corrector almost. And so I'm going to go in with the Huda Beauty, the Overachiever one first. And then I recently purchased the Cosas concealer. I watched a lot of TikToks on it. And then I bought it at the Sephora sale. And I think that it's a super high coverage concealer, and a little bit truly does go a long way, but it's also very illuminating, which is exactly what I want in a concealer. So this one is in shade 06. It's called the Revealer, and it is super creamy. So I usually put a few dots on and then I'll let it dry, and then I'll go in with the Beauty Blender to blend it all out. So first I'm going to go with the Huda Beauty one, and I just dot it under my eye, very little, like a slight dot. So let's go in with, if it'll come out, it's not. Yeah, so I just, and so I'll let that dry a little bit. And then wet my Beauty Blender. I'm going to take my Beauty Blender and just blend it out. Just making sure that I get all the spots in on the inner corner because of the buildup and like the creasing that happens there. So yeah. And this is like just the first round. So now I've blended out like slightly the Huda Beauty one. And then I'm going to go in with the Cosas, and I'm going to put this one mostly on my inner corner and then a stripe up. So same concept, inner corner, stripe up. I do this a little bit on the nose to like lift it, and then down for the contour. And then I'm just going to blend this out, but I'm going to let it sit for a second first, just so I feel like when I let it dry a little bit and then I go to blend it out, the coverage is better. I don't know, science, I guess, but so I'm gonna just start with the bottom and then same, I'm gonna start with this edge and just start blending it out. And then I'm gonna just get closer and closer to the inner. Until it kind of looks like this. And you know, the lifting effect. So I'm going to go ahead and finish on the other side. So now I've completed putting on my concealer, and then I'm going to